Aside from the repression and intellectual repression that happens in Miami and still happens. Aside from that, again, as a writer, my curiosity is why. And I think I have a wonderful Dominican friend who talks about la dictadura en la casa, the dictatorship in the home, and how when she was a little girl, they were always whispering about the father behind closed doors, and you couldn't really attack him directly. And it's a cultural problem for us, and I think it's a human problem, really, that's expressed to varying degrees in various cultures. But it is the tension between the autocrat and the sort of charming raconteur. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a Cuban who can't tell a good story, a good, charming story. It was my delight to spend some time with Rafael and Renee last night, and you die laughing. I mean, it's just, Renee's a very funny storyteller. And most Cubans are. I mean, you know, it's dangerous to engage in stereotypes, but you will find that there's a love of storytelling and a deep tradition of storytelling. And at the same time, there is an impulse to be in charge of the sole narrative in our culture. And I think that before we begin to talk about political change and what's possible, yes, we can agree on some basic things. We can agree on the need for dialogue. We can agree on the need for openness. I think we also need to, as Cubans, examine what in our culture impedes that, and how we can begin to transcend those traditions that hold us back in that arena. And I'm talking both sides of the straits, because again, we engage in this duality of Cubans on the island, Cubans out, and right and left. And in fact, it's the same people. It's one big family, and they're nuts, and they scream and they yell and they but they are the same people, and there is a deep love and there's a deep respect, and you won't find. I mean, Cubans. I think Cubans at heart, even outside of the island, they're. You know, when you hear Chavez compared to Fidel, you know, Cubans will be kind of a little angry about that. You know, well, he's no Fidel. You know, Fidel is Fidel. And so you have this this culture that is very proud. And I think that we make a lot of progress by emphasizing those parts of our culture that are helping us, and examining what has brought us to the present day. And what has led us to exile poets and free thinkers throughout our history, and humiliate them, and send them abroad. And it's something that goes all the way back to the 19th century, of course, with Martes. Anyways, I'm out of time, so thank you for being here.